everyone. Welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where the tea is piping hot and we are always ready to spell. I'm Logan Murphy tonight, and I will not be. I'm always Logan Murphy, but tonight I will not be spilling my wine because this was not horribly expensive, but like a decent Moscato, and I'm very happy about it.
We love that. I am Lana, your resident diva, here to get all the tea piping hot. I have a drink, but it's a Coke, and I don't want to. Coke is not sponsoring us, so you know.
I mean, if they want to, sure.
Sure, great. We'll love to see it. But I'm more excited the fact that we are talking about Celebrity Big Brother. I feel like we've been waiting for this for quite a while.
We've known for a while that this was on the horizon. Yes, we're going to be talking about part 1 of the 3-night premiere of Celebrity Big Brother.
Hey now, period.
Yes, hi, banishment. Hi.
I mean, what other couple do you need besides Logan and Lana? The L factor is kind of fire right now.
I would say Lana and Taja, but
Lana and Taja's pretty hot too. Like, come on,
pretty good. Logan and Sam are pretty good, I will also say, and anyone with Nathan is a good time because he always brings the vodka. Speaking of vodka,
vodka.
I felt like I had a few shots going into this episode. I'm not going to lie to you because, honest to God, my overall thoughts, it was a pretty vanilla premiere, which I'm not mad at.
You know what? This is the thing. I kind of liked it. We understand that COVID issues are happening. We have to take precautions. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things are going to change, which is fine. I'll take the change. But
we didn't get the pun. I just got the pun.
I got the pun.
I didn't.
Oh, Logan.
It's been a long week.
It's okay.
A long week, and it's only Wednesday.
It's okay. It's okay. But I like the premiere that it wasn't like too jam-packed. Like we've seen premieres, like even in the season where it was like 2 competitions back to back, and then it was a lot.
Not Tanisha, not that.
Scared me. I'm like, did I do something? Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so I like the simplicity of it. It gives me like, old Big Brother, classic Big Brother, just simple. Here's the cast, here's sure I would have loved a live move-in, but
that's just not feasible right now.
This is not. And then there's celebrities, and I feel like a lot has happened in this casting and getting everything together. So
we'll talk about things that still may be ongoing.
Right. We'll talk about that.
I will say, I did miss the Julie in the house intro. I'm not going to lie.
Oh.
I missed it. It was like the first thing I wrote down other than all caps. Oh my God, it's actually happening again. We have no free time again until October. That was literally the first thing I wrote. But I missed the Julie walking into the house and showing us the house and being like, 11 celebrities, 21 days, 1 Big Brother champion. I don't know why she would do it that way because that's Survivor. But I missed the Julie intro.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, announcer guy, you're nice and cool and lovely, but
I mean, it is what it is. I feel like, we have to be ready for change. We have to adapt to change from time to time, and so this is just one of those times we have to adapt. But let's jump into this episode because I actually am ready for this. You guys know, if you've watched any other episodes of anything that I've ever been on, I don't take notes. I let Logan take the notes, or there's no notes. Or
that's true.
Or Taja has lately been taking the notes. So if Logan and Taja don't take the notes, there's no notes.
Yep.
But Lana has decided. Lana is going to start taking this very seriously. This podcast is important to me, and I am going to prove that by taking notes. So I took notes, and I am ready for this, guys.
You proved that you thought this was important just by being here, but
no,
I love you.
My presence is not enough. I have to show that I am ready to do it. So I am here, and let's jump into this. Yes. So we start off, and Julie informs us that the house guests are going to move in one by one because of COVID situations and safety, and they're taking precautions, which is great. And so at first I was like, oh, we won't get the whole, cast lining up, and then who decides to go in first? Somebody's going to get the first person curse, and that's just going to be it. But we know last season on Celebrity Big Brother, that curse was broken.
It's broken.
It is broken because Tamar walked in there first and walked out of there last. So
I remember the fandom screaming when Tamar walked in first.
Oh, I did. I screamed.
I remember screaming. I was mass tweeting like nobody's business. Oh my God.
I was like,
no. I will say I did love this very almost I know other shows have done it, but this entrance really reminded me of Drag Race almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably because that's very recent on my mind. We have 2 seasons going on. Go check out our coverage of those. But I kind of loved this one-on-one or this one-person entrance, mostly because the first person into the house was the correct choice in Carson Kressley.
Yes. It gave me BBOTT vibes because that's how they did it in OTT.
You're so right. I forgot that's how they did it in OTT.
Now, it definitely gave me BBOTT, which I loved, which they need to bring back. But okay, whatever. But yeah, the whole one person coming in, the first person getting to check out the house, getting the layout of the land. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed Carson coming in first. Mm-hmm. I felt like he was the right choice to come in first. He was very much gave us what we expected of Carson.
Yeah.
He was over the top. He was like, honey, I'm home. Fabulous.
Everyone's best friend the moment that they walked in the door.
Carson knew everybody.
Single person
knew every person that walked in the door. Now, is that going to work out for him? We will see. But
I was gonna say, yeah, because
go ahead.
I was gonna say I noticed it specifically with Cynthia and then again with Todrick for obvious reasons. He's worked with both of them before. He's very close. I can also tell that he doesn't know this game very well based on this night one interaction of very vocally literally introducing Chris Kattan to the house. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk.
I was like, Carson, baby, no. But honestly, I think Carson is the kind of person that he won't get targeted because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think everyone that he knows is kind of, we'll talk about alliances that it may or may not have formed on night one. But I think he already seems like he's put himself in a very good position to not be targeted early.
Okay. I can see that.
I'm optimistic with Carson.
I mean, I have my thoughts about that. But we'll talk about that. I feel like it could go either 2 ways. He could be in a good position, like you said, or he can get in a position where he feels like he's in a good position.
Yeah.
And he gets very comfortable because I saw something today that when I was like, oh, okay. But we'll talk about that too. Sure. I'll tell you what I mean when we get to that person.
I don't think I saw anything about that, so I'm really excited to hear what you've seen.
Okay. So the next person to walk in was none other than Miss Cynthia Bailey. She walked through the door looking gorgeous. As she says, this looks expensive. She looked expensive when she walked in the door. Carson immediately was like, yes, I'm so glad it was you. She was glad it was him. They, like you said, they knew each other, and they were very happy to see that they knew somebody else, and they were excited. And then they went on their tour of the house. They wanted to see which was going to be best for them. And they picked out the golden room.
And then changed later.
And then changed in a minute. So they were like, oh, wait, no, this one's better.
Yeah.
So they picked the gold room first and they got comfortable. And then in walks Chris Kirkpatrick.
Your fave. I do want to say one thing on Cynthia's intro package before we move on to Chris Kirkpatrick, because we're gonna have to call him Chris Kirkpatrick until one of the two of them gets evicted.
Right, because we can't even say Chris K.
We can't even say Chris K. No. I loved in Cynthia's intro package, like we see her walk in and instantly she sees Carson and they're like, oh my God, let's make an alliance. And then we see her intro package where her family's like, don't make alliances. Don't keep people close. And I'm like, oh no. Cynthia.
Like you listen to nothing they say.
But I think Carson is a great ally to have. Like if you know the person that well.
I mean, the thing is, they're going to have that connection anyway, regardless, because they do know each other. So it's okay to have that connection and it's okay to want to build up something with that. But you also have to be open to other people because you can't just stick to the people you know. And not to mention, Carson is a great ally to have because I feel like he's always going to be louder. And so you want somebody in front of you that's going to be the target if people are coming for you both. If somebody's coming for the duo, I need the loudest of the duo to go first. So Cynthia needs to either, dial back and let Carson take the lead. And so if they come after the duo, they'll go after him first. Or, she might not make it. We'll see.
Accept the risk. And
or accept the risk. Exactly. So then Chris Carpaccio comes in. Chris is actually a super fan of this show. He knows a lot. He
sure is, Lana.
He knows a lot more about this show than a lot of people think he knows about this show. And look, is his takes a little off? Yes.
A little.
I understand. I don't care who he likes or don't like in a game. Sure. I like him, period. Sure. I will not associate Jackson Mitchie for Chris Kirkpatrick with Chris Kirkpatrick. I will not do that. I will not. Just because he said he liked them and the justified reasons because they both live in Nashville. So it's like a homegrown thing. It's not.
I can definitely tell that he's a fan of the show and not like a live feeder.
Right.
Now, knowing that he is a self-proclaimed super fan and seeing the things that he said in his interviews, which if you haven't seen,
go back
Jackson
and see.
Mickey, enough said. But like knowing all of that, it's clear because they gave Jackson a very, very, very good edit on 20.
They gave him a great edit. They did.
Not knowing any of the horrible shit that he did and the amount of watermelons he ate throughout the whole season.
I think
not knowing any of that, I can understand it. I'm just going to give you crap for it all season.
It's fine. It's fine. When he wins, then what? Look, when he wins, then what?
Sure. I mean, honest to God, if a super fan wins, I'm more than happy because two of them have won the first 2 seasons.
And see, this is the thing. I feel like super fan is used in a different way for me. Like, I feel like if you're a super fan, you watch live feeds, you watch the episodes, you're very much a super fan involved. I feel like he's a fan.
Sure.
He's a casual fan who watches every episode, but he doesn't watch live feeds. So I can't consider people who don't watch live feeds a super fan to me. That's just me personally. But
that's completely fair.
But I also feel like him being a fan and watching every episode and like he said, getting the edited episodes of everything, I can understand why he liked who he liked. And same with all the other ones who mentioned the people that they like. Everybody liked Derek. Everybody liked Dan. Everybody liked, Shocker. Because Big Brother gave these men the super edits of these shows. And so they look like Superman in each other. Like they were great characters. But
drop the super, keep the fan.
Exactly. So he's very much a fan of the show. And so I'll give him that. But personally, I am an instinct phenomenon, diehard fan. So I will always root for anybody in NSYNC. And so I want to see him do it. But this is what impressed me. This is what I saw. And this is what I was talking about when I said I saw something. Chris is somebody who watched the show and he thinks about what he's going to do. Like, he didn't tell everybody he was a super fan right off the gate.
I liked that a lot.
He was like, oh yeah, I watched Celebrity Big Brother last season.
I saw Tom Green.
I saw Tom Green. I'm a friend of Tom, so that's why I watched it. And I was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. You see, he's not going to go in because he saw Jonathan Bennett go out like that. He saw what happened to Shannon Elizabeth when they were self-proclaimed super fans and was telling everybody all their business. Yeah. So I know he watched the show and I know he's going to be able to maneuver himself. It just depends on who he aligns himself with. I think is going to be what determines. Not me dropping a can. What's going to determine if he's going to how well he's going to do on the show.
I was very impressed by him in this episode. That's what I'll say. Like, everything kind of clicked for me a little bit more than in his like intro interviews. I was very impressed by him, and there were a couple other people I was very impressed with as well. So, but he was definitely up there. Like, I see what you're doing, and I appreciate you as a super fan. I appreciate what you're doing as a super fan.
Super fan, and you as a fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after Chris, so after Chris comes in Shanna. Is it Shanna or Shayna?
It's Shayna. Shayna Moakler.
Shayna Moakler. I will get it. So I knew about her public breakup with Travis Barker. I didn't know about the one with Oscar De La Hoya, which was interesting. She also called herself a super fan. I was impressed with Shayna in this episode, I will say. She's kind of like she was in the conversations that I think she needed to be in. And we'll talk about alliances in a bit. But she was kind of mingling. I saw her with many like from the very, very edited little bit that we got of them mingling. I saw her with a lot of different groups of people. And so she's clearly a fan. She knows what she's doing as well. But I was very impressed with the way Shayna, I'm gonna get it eventually, I swear. The way Shayna maneuvered herself from what we saw in the episode.
Exactly. I feel that she is going to be someone. She also is like Chris to me. Like, she knows the show. She knows what is expected, and so she's going to, do what she thinks is going to get her further in the game. I think she's going to do okay. I think she's going to do well.
Yeah.
In this game, and I didn't get a bad vibe from. Honestly, I didn't get a bad vibe from anybody, but like, I didn't get a bad vibe. I got some awkward moments, but not bad.
From the edited television show, not knowing, ignoring the things I know about these people on the outside world. Yes, I will agree.
So, but yeah, I did know about her and her breakups and all that stuff. And like I said, it's going to be interesting because she also mentioned something that later on, down when another guest come in about what she.
We'll talk about Lamar.
We'll talk about that. But yeah,
also I believe Carson and Shayna were on the same Dancing with the Stars season.
I think so.
That because they mentioned that they knew each other.
Oh, Carson knew everybody.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I was like, I'm pretty sure he was on an early season of Dancing with. She was on like season 3 or something. So, love that. And then we get Todd Bridges. Todd Bridges walks in the door, and Cynthia's like, "Oh my God, it's Todd Bridges," and Carson is like, "Oh my God, it's this celebrity royalty." Everybody knew who Todd Bridges was. I mean, if you did not know who Todd Bridges was, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You ain't never watched Different Strokes in your life. You're too young to talk to me if you don't know who Todd Bridges is. So I'm glad I passed the test.
I am very glad. I mean, because if you don't know who Todd Bridges is, I don't want to talk to you.
I grew up. I mean, it was after. It was before my time, but I grew up watching Different Strokes.
I mean, it's just like Different Strokes, or even if you watch Everybody Hates Chris and you knew it from there, you just have to know who Todd Bridges is for me.
Absolutely.
If you've never know who Todd Bridges is, then like I said, don't talk to me because he's somebody who you're just too young. You're too young. But he walks in and he's just like, cool. Look at this. This is amazing.
It becomes very clear very quickly that he does not know what he's gotten himself into.
No, he doesn't know the show.
I love it. Those are my favorite kinds of celebrities on these shows. Like, I think my favorite celebrity in that regard, honestly, was Ariadna from season 1. Because she just really did not know where she was, but she played the game.
Right. I mean, and I think that's I appreciate that in any game people go into, even in regular season of Big Brother, when folks who come in who are like, a lot of people hate recruits. I don't mind recruits. I just want, even if you're going to be a recruit, I just want you to respect the game.
Derek X.
Right.
Point blank period.
If you're going to be a recruit, at least respect the game and learn the game while you're in there. Just don't be like, oh, I don't know anything about it, so I'm not going to even try. No, I respect it, learn it. You're here now. Learn the game. So you figure it out. And so I think it's going to be, it was very good. And so, yes, he doesn't know. I don't think he knows what he got himself into, but I think he's going to, I don't know what he's going to do.
I feel like based on what happens later, we'll talk about the HOH. I don't feel like people are going to touch Todd unless they absolutely have to.
Not honestly. Right now. Oh, no, not right now. Not right now. Yeah. No. Because, people are going to start thinking about who's going to be a threat. Who's a threat to me? Todd is not going to be somebody who people think is a threat right away.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. We move on.
We move on.
You go right ahead.
No, you go ahead because this one is hard for me.
Okay. Cool. So next up is Marina Gasu, Olympic bronze medalist. I couldn't remember what her bronze medal was in when we did our cast assessment, and then I remembered she helped the U.S. team win. I believe it was mixed. I think it was the mixed team event. They got bronze.
They got bronze.
The first U.S. woman to land a triple axel at the Olympics, which is kind of surprising a little.
I mean, triple axels are usually done for men. The men are the ones who do the triple axel. It's a lot of very much to spin 3 times in the air after you jump up off ice. So yeah, that's a lot. But yeah, congrats to her.
Absolutely. She said a few things that she mentioned doing things with as little blood on her hands as possible. I was like, okay, cool. At least she watched the season that they gave her. I'll take it. Like,
I think she watched more than the season.
Okay.
Because I think she likes Big Brother. I think she's a fan of Big Brother. She said some things throughout the show that I was like, oh yeah, this girl knows. She knows what she's talking about. And I really, 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 I like her.
Right?
I like her.
She's so charismatic.
I just like her. And she's just like, she's giving me like, sure, I'm here to play. I'm gonna, like, I'm cute, I'm sweet, I'm innocent, but it's a fighter under that one, and she is going to let folks have it.
There's a certain breed of human that can compete at the Olympics and win a medal, and she's one of them. Like, I not for a second will be underestimating Miss Mariah.
And as we see in the HOH, neither is a whole lot of other people.
Absolutely, we will get there. Who was next? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Kattan.
I mean, Carson Kressley was the doorman and the announcer. I was like, chill out, homeboy.
Well, Julie wasn't doing it. He made the joke. Julie wasn't doing it this season, so I guess he had to.
I mean, it's so funny. But yes, Chris Kattan walks in. Chris Kattan is just an awkward little man to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, I like Chris Kattan. I hope he does well. But, everybody's not going to do well. But
sure,
he just seems a little awkward to me, but not in a bad way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
Sure. I'm on the fence. Like, he's another one that it very much seems like he has no clue what Big Brother is, and his agent wanted him to like do this show, etc., etc. Like I definitely get that energy from him, and like the jury's out. Honestly, that's kind of where I'm at with him. Like, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, do I expect a lot? Not really, but I expect to see some things. We'll see.
I expect him to bring at least a little bit of comedy.
Exactly. Exactly. Moving on. Coming up next was the Todrick Hall, Mr. Choreographer, Broadway producer, director, man of many talents, man of many hats, man of everything. Walks at the door looking fabulous, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh!" And Carson, of course, said, "I know
you." My favorite part of the entire episode is when Cynthia opens the door, looks at Todrick, and they're like, "Ah!" And then he walks around the door, sees Carson, and is like, "Oh my god!" Like, I loved every moment of it, and then Carson being like, "I thought I was going to be the only gay in the village." I was like, yes, there's two. Yes.
It's so funny.
This is a super fan. This is a super fan.
We want to talk about super fans.
He's one of us. Like,
I believe he be watching live feeds. I do believe he watches.
I remember him like Instagram storying. I know that's not a verb, but I just used it as a verb. Like posting on his Instagram story about like live feed stuff with the cookout. Like, I feel like I remember that from BB23. I didn't follow him at the time, but I saw it on
Twitter. Just started watching live feeds.
Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if like he was like, "Oh, I'm a fan. Oh, but all black people in an alliance? Let me tune in." And that's understandable for sure. But yeah, I'm very excited for Todrick. It seems like he went in, he knew exactly what he needed to do with the people that he was in there with. I'm very excited to see how he plays.
I'm here. I'm open for all of these people because, like, I don't know. I'm in a very giving mood this season.
We'd love to see it.
I don't want to go in with preconditioned ideas. I just want to see what happens.
Yeah. There's one person that I just can't get over her antics. We'll talk about her, but otherwise, I would agree. Next in. Next in is Misha Tate, my winner pick, rightfully so, because she comes in looking stunning. She's beautiful, by the way,
and I found out why. We found out why she's called Cupcake because you remember in the cast assessment we were like, why do they call her Cupcake? I don't know, but now we know because she likes to put on her makeup. She likes girly things, but she's a fighter under all of that. And she says, I like to look good and be girly, but I'm a tough cupcake.
I'm excited for her eviction night looks. I'm very excited for her eviction night looks. Like, that's going to be good. So I'm excited for that. She talks about how a lot of people find her intimidating, which I don't necessarily think is the best thing, but at least she can acknowledge it. She knows that happens.
I mean, and by the reactions of the people.
Honestly.
For how the people reacted to her in the house when she walked in. She was right because they were definitely intimidated by her. Todd knew who she was. Chris knew who she was. Chris Kirkpatrick knew who she was.
Chris Kirkpatrick was freaking out, and I loved it.
He was fangirling about Misha. He was like, I know who she is. I love MMA. I want to talk to her about MMA fighting all day. And so his eyes were like saucers when she walked in. Yeah. So I'm excited to see that relationship over, how does, because he was very much excited to see her.
Yeah. Second to last in, Teddy Mellencamp.
Yeah. She walked in And everybody was like, oh, another housewife. Cynthia, like,
Literally.
I know her. Shayna was like, I know her. Carson said, I know her. Everybody knew her because everybody from this housewife drag race thruple world that they got together, they all know each other. So
there's really not a whole lot of crossover, I will say.
I mean, it's just everybody knows everybody. And
like I think really the only crossovers have been like Tamar was a guest judge. Tamar had one of the most iconic guest judging moments on Drag Race.
Mm-hmm.
I think Candy's been a guest judge.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other Beverly Hills housewives was on like an early season of Drag Race. But yeah, that whole universe of gay programming, basically.
Right.
Gay,
let's just say pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah.
She comes in. I didn't, like you said, I don't know her. You have some ideas of her before.
I sure do.
But she said something tonight that just rubbed me the very wrong way.
Oh,
and so I am no longer.
Which statement was it?
She said, Chris Kirkpatrick, was he in NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
I thought of you immediately.
I didn't think I'm going to say my final answer. I was like, first of all, Heifer, you should know better. You should just simply know. You should simply know. He is from NSYNC.
Not this.
So from that moment on, I was turned off. Like my interest in her kind of was like, whatever. But I mean, that's just the pettiness of me. I just was like, and even in Cynthia, like asking where should she know him from, that was something like I can understand that, but like
it's like I know your face, but
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't get. You know what?
We're gonna move along from that comment and move on to our final house guest of the evening. Of course, they saved Lamar Odom for last. Sure.
Of course.
I'm going to be honest, because I wasn't the most excited about him in our cast assessment.
Mm-hmm.
I really, he gives me just a step above Meta World Peace. And honestly, I think that's fine for him. I loved the very not so subtle book plug in the middle of his intro package.
Amen.
I felt learning more about his struggles, because obviously my experience with him is I know he's a basketball player and I know he was married to Khloe Kardashian. That's where I know him from.
Mm-hmm.
And I said in the cast assessment, and I'm going to say again now, I'm very excited to get to know Lamar as a human. And I hope that we get to hear a lot of these stories about what he's been through. We got a little bit of it in his intro, and I really it softened my very, very cold heart. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm very excited for Lamar now. I'm very, very excited. Lamar and Chris both impressed me in this episode for very different ways. Again, I don't think Lamar knows where he's at, but I'm excited to get to know him for the period of time that he's in the Big Brother house.
I feel like Lamar is definitely a step above Meta World Peace, but I think he's a couple of more steps above Meta World Peace, because I feel like Meta World Peace was more of he didn't know where he was, and he's not going to adapt to where he was. Yeah. He did not want to be there. Obviously, he just was like, I'm here. I don't really want to, but I'm here. I feel like Lamar is going to be that one who he's here and he's going to learn the game. He's going to respect the game. Meta World Peace to me didn't respect the game. And that's what bothered me about him. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like Lamar will respect the game. He will try to, he's very competitive still. His nature is going to be competitive, and he's going to try to win and make the moves that he wants to make. But I feel like, is he going to be are we going to pick him up that's the winner pick? No, but he could surprise us. I feel like he can surprise us. So,
speaking of Meta World Peace, did you see the ad for the new Not Celebrity Survivor that's coming?
What?
So they're doing basically the American version of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. which is a very popular British show.
I've seen that show.
Meta World Peace is cast on there, and so is Mr. Colton Underwood, who we hate and despise. And some fun people. One of my favorite country singers, Lauren Elena, is going to be on there. I'll be honest, we will probably not be covering it here, but I'm going to watch to see the shit show. That's where I'm at.
I have no intention of watching that show, so thanks.
I'm going to watch for Lauren Elena, and that's about it.
I mean, who else is on? Never mind, we'll talk about it later.
A couple other people. There's a housewife. I just don't remember which one.
Whatever. Okay, we're here to talk about Celebrity Big Brother. So let's
and they are all in the house.
They're all there.
We get a toast from Chris Kattan, and it was not a great toast.
It was just a toast.
It was all right.
My notes that I took, I was finding that Cynthia took the moment to grill Chris Kattan about not knowing people's names, and she was like, what's my name? He was like, and so I think it was Shayna or Teddy, one of them was like, what's my name? He was like, Cruella, I don't know. I died. I
screamed, Lana. My roommate had to come check on me to make sure I was okay.
I died.
That's how much I screamed. I was like,
Cruella.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm so glad I was home by myself because I was laughing so loud.
Right? Oh my goodness.
And so she was grilling him. I was like, well, what's my name? He was like, do you remember anybody's name? He was like, yes, Chris.
I was like, I hate you. I hate you so much. Stop it. Stop all of this right now.
It was the best thing. Like, it was the funniest thing ever to me. I loved it. I love that moment.
Yeah. I think the only other thing that really happened before the HOH comp was we have an alliance alert.
Yes, we have the Girls and the Gays alliance.
We all hoped it would happen, and I'm so happy.
I mean, some of us hoped it would happen, I guess.
I hoped it would happen.
I knew it would happen. It was very much obvious, but it was very obvious. But the Girls and the Gays alliance is Carson, Todrick, Shayna, and Cynthia. And they just all happened to be, they just happened to be in the pink room, that's the little pink room. I like to call
it. So Carson and Cynthia ended up switching from the gold room to the chocolate room.
Right. Chocolate.
And that is when Shayna came in, and then obviously Todrick they're gonna pull in.
They all went into the room, and they were like, "Yeah." And yes, it definitely sounds like real life because the girls and the gays are always gonna get along. The girlies we love the gays love the girls. So it is what it is. So they got together, and they were like, "I think this is gonna work. I like this."
And I will say I do really like this alliance.
I like the alliance. I am not mad at any alliance that I feel like is what happened organically and happens like it. Even you saw it coming a mile away, but it was just like, but it's a good alliance. And so, and look, these people know what they're doing. They knew what they were doing when they come in this house, and they know like we need to get together and do what we got to do, and they do what they got to do. So. I'm very happy that we have an alliance starting out on day one, and they got together and made it happen. So that's what this game is about. Respect the game.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, we got an HOH comp, which we were expecting an HOH comp. It was an interesting one for the first one, I will say. This was, I believe, just called the BB Winter Gala.
Exactly.
There was no pop up on screen with a name.
I mean, Julie said it, so I was like, okay, that's what it is. And she said it twice, so I was kind of like, okay, so it's called the BB Winter Gala. But that's before that, we also got the announcement, of course, that there were going to be eliminations twice a week. And so they were like very stunned. Congratulations to Logan, who called that for us on.
I don't think it was on air, but
it was not on
chat.
No, it was not chat. Logan called it out on the Cup Reality production chat and was like, look, y'all, it's probably going to be 2 eliminations a week. And today, Julie
I said it was Monday, Friday, and it sounds like it is as well. So I was
it definitely is Friday and then probably Monday. Or maybe
that's a really quick turnaround, though, I will say, because there's not an episode on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So we have Tuesdays and Thursdays off pretty much for the month, which is lovely. So it seems like it's Monday, Friday. The thing with Friday, that seems like a very quick turnaround.
I mean, it might be Monday,
but also,
Wednesday.
Like, that would be an even quicker turnaround.
I mean, Friday, Wednesday, not Monday, Wednesday. Friday, Wednesday.
Well, still, I feel like the Wednesday to Friday turnaround is still going to be a little difficult because the Friday to Monday is 3 days, and then the Monday to Friday is 4 days. So I'm not sure. We don't know much yet.
But we know it's 2 a week. We know
it's 2 a week. So we will be live here 2 days a week. Thank God. Thank God it's not more, honestly.
Right.
We were fearing like we were going to have to go live like 4 days a week. So we will not be doing that. No. Not doing that. But
Gala. Yes. And it's a new twist of the hanging rope challenge.
Hold on for your dear life.
Can I just say, I was shocked, but I appreciate them coming out the gate with an endurance comp.
I loved it.
I loved it. I thought that was a great competition to start with. You know, usually in regular seasons, we don't get the endurance comp first.
I think in both celebrity seasons, though, it has been.
Has it been? Because
last season, I remember specifically, it was Tamar and Candy paired together, and it was the swings with the champagne.
But that's not really an endurance comp.
I mean, depending on how long it takes, you could consider it an endurance comp.
I mean, I guess
season 1 was because they were holding on to the thing while all of the winners came through. Because I remember Rachel Riley was there.
Yeah,
I don't remember why.
Something. I don't remember. Maybe
I think it was. Oh, wasn't it? Oh! It was the like fake Oscar trophy.
Yes, because they did a whole song and dance and thing. Okay, yep. Mm-hmm. Well, okay.
That came out of a recess of my memory somewhere from 3 years ago. Okay,
that's crazy. But yeah, they did the whole. They had to get in stirrups and hold on to champagne bottles and all this other stuff. But we found out right away that somebody had to sit out of the challenge and they couldn't be HOH and they did not have guaranteed safety, which I was very shocked about. And I was like, I'm not taking that if I was not guaranteed safety.
And no one wanted to immediately either.
Nobody wanted to either. Everybody was kind of like, you want to take it? You want to take it? I don't want to take it because everybody knew you don't want to be the one to sit out. So, but eventually Todd decided I would take it, which I feel like could work in his favor because I feel like people are going to be like, Todd didn't have a chance. I wouldn't put him up.
Absolutely.
The team, he sat this out for us and da. So it could have worked. It could work out in his favor totally. Mm-hmm. And the fact that Todd is old. So
I also read an article somewhere that was saying that this is the oldest average cast of the three. The average age is like 43.
Yeah.
I was like, they better have made these comps friendly to our older generation of people because the only young people are Todrick, relatively, Misha, and Mariah.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody else are in their 40s.
Oh my.
And 40s and plus.
My question really is, how many of these people do you think were alternates?
I'm sure a few of.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them were alternates. But like, yeah, I don't know.
God.
Okay, so we get into the competition. Everything is going well. People are up. They're holding on. And they were all... And the distractions were going to happen. Yep. And so 1 minute and 26 seconds in, Chris Kattan falls off.
Oh no.
Yeah. I feel like he still would have beat Derek F.
Yeah.
I mean, I still feel that way.
Well, and then shortly after Chris Kattan falls, Cynthia falls at just about the 2 minute mark.
1 minute and 56 seconds. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. She goes. minutes and 35 seconds, which, okay. But then quickly right after that, Lamar falls with 4 minutes and 39 seconds.
I was shocked Lamar made it that long. I'm going to be very honest.
I mean,
it's not because of his age; it's because of his height.
It's the height, yes, the tallest, and they were stretching and moving, and it was a lot. And then, first we had the paparazzi came out, turning to the left, turning to the right, and then the snow came down. And it was cold, and it was wet, and it made the champagne bottle slippery, and so those people fell. Yep. And then Chris Kirkpatrick fell at 6 minutes and 25 seconds, and he gave a shout out to NSYNC as he fell. Was like, I let him down. I'm so sorry, JC Justin, which I appreciated. Thank you very much.
We know we're going to get NSYNC references for the entire time he's in the house, and I'm ready.
I'm ready for it. We're going to hear bye, bye, bye. I'm sure he already
absolutely.
He said something was tearing up his. I heard it all. We get it all. All season, I'm here for it.
Sure.
And Cressley, who fell at 9 minutes and 50 seconds after the golden caviar fell down on their heads. That seemed a little harsh.
A little. That
came down so hard. It was just like whoosh.
I mean, isn't that normally how hard the liquid substance hits people in those competitions, normally?
Yeah, because we've seen a lot of different competitions on Big Brother, and we've seen where the liquids that they hit sometimes is kind of weak, it's kind of trickly, and then we've seen it where it blasts them boom. This was a blast. This was a lot of gold stuff right on top of their heads. And it was crazy. And so then Carson falls off.
Yep.
Mariah, she was holding strong. She looked steady. I was very shocked when she fell.
Yeah.
I don't have her time. I missed her time.
I wrote 14 minutes. I rounded all of mine, so it was around 14.
Okay, yeah. I looked away for a second and she fell, and then I missed the time. But yeah, so around that time she fell. I thought she was solid. So I was very surprised.
I think it was just because she lost the second champagne bottle,
and her stirrup came off.
Then the stirrup.
It was just gonna, like you said, the second champagne bottle she was holding on.
Well, I didn't even see her lose the second one. All of a sudden she was holding on by one, and I was like, "What is happening? Girl, what'd you do?"
Well, all right, but even through all of that, Misha kept her eye on Mariah. She was looking. She was like, "I'm seeing what she's doing," and I think all of them, the longer they stayed up there, was like, "I could possibly win this thing. Right. I could possibly go." So it was starting to get really good. And so then after Mariah fell, then Todrick fell at 19 minutes and 16 seconds.
But not before. This was my other favorite moment of the entire episode. So Todrick leans over to Misha and is like, "Girl, are you gonna put me up?" And she's like, "Oh no, don't worry." And so
he was like, "Well, then you got it."
And so he drops.
I felt like that was when you feel like you're going to drop, if you feel like it's not happening for me, you do what you got to do. And the fact that he was right next to her where he could lean over and be like, "Hey."
And it seemed more of a whisper than anything else, even though Shayna called it out. Which
I was like, they're making a deal.
I was like,
because you could tell by the way he was leaning over.
But also, Miss Shayna, you're supposed to be in an alliance with this man. Allegedly. So, what's going on?
The deal wasn't going to include her in the deal, so she was like, "I'm just saying they making a deal."
And then,
wait, I know you're ready to. You just chomping at the bit to get to this part because it was great.
So it's Misha and Teddy, and Teddy leans over and is like, are you going to put me up? And Misha's like, well, I mean, I can't like promise anything. I just don't know what's going to happen. I'm sorry. Like, I hope you understand that I can't promise anything. And Teddy's just like, it's fine. I'm dropping. And then just drops. And I'm like, what is happening?
It was so fun. Misha was not like, I think Teddy was already on Misha's radar.
Uh-huh.
And Todrick was not. So it was easy for her to make that deal with Todrick. I'm like, yeah, sure, you're good. And so when Teddy was like, yeah, are we good? Misha was like, I don't want to say that. I don't want to lie to people. I don't make promises that I don't know if I'm
going to be able to keep. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
I was okay, yes.
I appreciate it as a fan. Mm-hmm. I would appreciate it if I was watching and if I was in Teddy's position. Like,
if I was in that position, I would be like, absolutely not.
If I was Teddy, I'd be like, oh, okay. But yes, as a game player watching it, I appreciate it. So Misha wins HOH. Great. Congrats.
My winner pick winning the first HOH.
We'll see what that does for your winner pick. Because now she has decisions to make.
Who was the first HOH in the first 2 seasons? It was Shannon, which didn't end well. And then who was it last season?
Tom?
I thought Tom sat out. It was remember, because it was Jonathan and what's his face, and then they had to do the second comp, and then what's his face swimmer guy won. Ryan won.
Yeah.
That also didn't end well for him.
It didn't end well for him either.
Well, shit. Okay. Misha, break the first HOH curse on Celeb, please.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, just dig back into regular season HOHs, because the first HOH, it didn't bother half of them. Like some of them.
I mean, recently it's been the trend.
Definitely.
You want the first HOH.
Because you get all the alliances brought to you and you get all the conversations brought to you. Yeah, so, we'll see. Mm-hmm. Misha wins.
Yeah.
And we get to... Everybody's congratulating anybody. Everybody's like, hey, great job, Misha. And Julie says, house guests, we have an announcement. And so everybody's like, oh. And so she says, what's the gala without a gift? Because there's galas. And somebody's going to get this other power that's in this gala gift. But will get a curse. So
a scandalo.
Very scandalous. So I'm like, oof. Who? So everybody is trying to figure out what's in this gift. Todd is like, I want the blessing.
I better get this.
I better get it because I took one for the team. I sat out. I want the blessing. I don't care what everybody else say. I don't want the curse. I don't want to deal with it, but I want the blessing. So everybody, I want to know what this blessing is. Is it like an automatic veto? Are we bypass? What? No, because they said a veto competition and a live veto competition and the nominations happening all on the 2-hour episode on Friday.
Well, so tomorrow we find out what the gala gift is.
Yes.
And we get nominations.
The nominations, exactly.
And then Friday, which we will be live after both episodes, by the way. Friday is the 2-hour live with the POV, the veto ceremony, and the first eviction. So we will know tomorrow what the gala gift is. I feel like the curse, at the very least, has something to do with an automatic nomination, because they seem to like to do that on Celeb. That's like a thing that has happened. Like Jonathan Bennett was an automatic nom, and that's why he went home first. And so I feel like it's probably an automatic nom. As far as what the blessing is, it literally could be one of thousands of things.
I mean, it could be safety. They can't be nominated.
Yeah.
So I think that seems more like you just can't be nominated.
Or if there's like the concept of like regifting, maybe the blessing is like a safety card to give to someone else.
Right.
Maybe.
Or a safety card to be used later. I don't know.
Absolutely, yeah.
Who knows? So, but we don't know what's in there. We'll find out tomorrow. And I think
we will find out tomorrow.
that's one of the reasons, and other reasons why we're not getting live feeds until Friday, because they don't want us to know what this gift is. They also don't want us to know who's nominated. They don't want us, because all this other nominations, because the veto's supposed to be live. We'll see. Yep. I have some thoughts about that too. Me and Logan discussed some things that we feel is what we feel might have happened.
This is the perfect time for the new segment that I've made today, because it's fitting for the cup. It's tea time, Lana.
Period.
So, live feeders will know. Oh, so this is all spoilers, by the way. So if you don't want any spoilers, goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye. But, not really spoilers, because nothing really happened.
We're doing nothing. Right.
So we were like, oh my God, live feeds night 1. So excited. I had it ready on Paramount Plus on my television, and the countdown timer went to 0. And then I look on Twitter, and Paramount Plus decided to tweet, oh, we will give y'all an update on Friday as to where the live feeds, what's happening with the live feeds. Now, we talked, and I've seen a lot of things. My personal theory is that someone either threatened to quit or has already quit because they didn't realize live feeds were a thing.
Yes, I agree.
Even though I know CBS, and they extensively would have explained that there are live feeds. So I feel like someone has quit, because I feel like on a normal season, and even on the celeb seasons, I think we got live feeds after night 1 for season 2. Definitely. And by the end of the night, but within like an hour of live feeds coming up, we knew who was campaigning and who was going to be going home. Pretty much. And so I feel like they wouldn't have hid this Gala Gift. Maybe that's at least just my theory. I feel like they would have been like, live feeders get to know everything sort
of situation. That's how we pay for the live feeds.
Exactly. So I feel like it has something to do with an exit, some sort of threatening to quit. I hope it's Teddy Mellencamp. I hope it's Teddy Mellencamp.
I feel like if anybody is going to quit, it will be Teddy Mellencamp. I feel like she seems like she has a lot that's to hide, or she doesn't want people to know, because it'll mess with her brand. And I feel like she's very concerned about her brand. She seems to, I don't know her, but from what I've seen of her, she's very brand oriented. Everything is about,
That's the completely fair assumption, Lana. Completely fair.
I mean, that's just what I've seen from the little that I know of her. And so I feel like if anybody would know, like or possibly a Chris Kattan, because I feel like he walked in not realizing anything about the show. He doesn't know. And so I feel like he's socially awkward. So maybe knowing that it's going to be live feeds on him 24/7 made him very uncomfortable and socially just like, I can't handle that. So I can see between the two. Like it's certain people I don't think it will bother. Like I don't think Cynthia or Carson or Todrick or Chris Kirkpatrick or Shayna, like that wouldn't bother them. They knew this stuff. They knew about the show. Cynthia's used to having cameras following her around all the time. So is Carson with Crew Eye and all that stuff. So they're used to having cameras follow them around 24, for a long period of time. So it's not that big of a deal for them. But like somebody like a Chris Kattan and a Teddy, even though she was on Housewives and so she would know about cameras, I feel like she's very brand oriented. Maybe that could be, I don't know.
Yes.
Even Misha, because this is not what she's used to. This is not something that she has to deal with on a daily basis, having cameras around her all the time, picking up everything and getting microphones and, definitely making so the stress of the house, we know it's a real stress. We hear about it from all the alums coming out of the house. They definitely have to go through some deprogramming and detox from that house, because it's a definitely different stressful environment that we're normally used to. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did quit, but if I had to guess, it would probably be between Chris Kattan or a Teddy or even a Misha.
See, I saw something. I don't know if there's any legitimacy behind this. In passing, and I didn't really look at it because I didn't want to like focus on anything before the show came out. I saw something that was saying that Lamar was missing his wife.
No, his ex-wife. Like, he was talking about his ex-wife.
So
no, he was talking about
Chloe. Was he talking about his ex-wife?
He was talking about Chloe.
Oh shit! Okay.
He said he had.
I saw Lamar missing someone, and I was like,
no, I saw the clip, and he was, because he's not married right now. He was saying he had a dream about his ex-wife, and he missed his ex-wife. He was like, I miss her. So that's what's going on. He's really missing Chloe in this moment. So
cool.
For some reason, I don't know why, because she's horrible.
Then let's hope. I was hoping it wouldn't be him, because I am liking him so far.
I don't think it's
as long as it's. I mean, it'll cause drama if that really is the case.
I mean, we'll see. If somebody leaves, we could be totally off base, but somebody might not have left. Maybe they CBS anything. So we'll see. But whatever it is, CBS, we are not happy that we have to wait till Friday to get live feeds when we've been promised live feeds on night one. But whatever the case is, make it up to us.
We're not even confirmed to get live feeds. We're getting an update on Friday.
Right. So this is my thing, and I promise you, CBS, I will promise you this now. If you don't give us live feeds this season, you will lose a lot of viewerships, because I will be one of them. I will not watch Big Brother ever again in my life, because it's like, why are we paying for feeds if we're not guaranteed to get them? People have spent money on Paramount Plus to watch feeds. It's not even for the rest of your shows on your thing. It's for feeds. People literally paying for feeds, and then you're saying, "Oh no, we're not going to give it to you." That will be just bad business. That's bad business. So make sure you do what you got to do to talk to them celebrities and get these egos in check and give us our feeds. Period.
Yep. Go out there and do whatever the hell you need to do.
Thank you for my rant, because that's
and that's Tea Time, brought to you by The Cup.
Period.
Well, with that concludes. That's all we have to talk about, really.
What's up?
Night 1 of Celebrity Big Brother Season 3. We will be back live tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about Night 2 of the 3-night premiere. And all of the VODs will be available right after the fact, same evening-ish. Time zones. It might be early the next day for you, but I'm uploading this as soon as we end. So, as always, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to follow us on all of our links. Twitter at @the_Cup_reality, YouTube. I'm waiting till we hit that subscriber threshold so we can get a custom URL, because right now it's a bunch of letters and numbers and I don't have it memorized. Regardless, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch, follow all of us individually, do all the things, because we're great.
I mean, you should. If you haven't, I don't know what's wrong with you. You're not living your best life. You're not really living your best life if you don't follow us. And if you don't want to miss all the juicy tea, the piping hot tea that we have, you better follow us on Twitter at the Cup_reality, because that's so you'll know what everything is. That's you won't miss a notification. We'll always tell you when we're going live or when we're going to. You'll see our weekly schedule. So follow us on Twitter, and then
you'll get a weekly schedule, even if it's on Tuesday.
Even if it's on Tuesday. Who says you can't put a weekly schedule out on Tuesday? Nobody.
Honestly, a Tuesday to Monday schedule?
I mean, kind of cute to me.
Kind of cute. Maybe it's our thing.
It might be our thing. So Tuesday to Monday, it is. That's a week. That's all you need to know. But follow us, check us out.
Exactly.
Because we're going to give you all the tea. We have amazing hosts. We have amazing shows. We don't just follow Celebrity Big Brother. We have a lot. Survivor.
A lot of content.
Survivor, Drag Race, Eurovision.
Coming soon. Yep.
Everything. Yep. Everything. So follow us here and check out the amazing hosts that we have. So we will love to see you. And thanks for watching us tonight. We'll check you out tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
And cheers.
Cheers.
With my empty wine glass.
With my no cup. But cheers.
Sure.
Whatever.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
It's time to go. Good night.
Don't
Bye.
go watch live feeds because they're not live.
No,
Bye-bye.
they're not live.
Bye-bye.
Just go away. Just get some rest.